We're here with head coach Jody Wright. We'll open it up for any questions at this time.
Y'all pressed them in the second half. Y'all came out and really gave them some trouble.
Yeah, give Missouri State, their coaching staff does an amazing job of spirit in that program there. They've had won 8 games in a row now. So, and then you can definitely tell, we had opportunities. I thought we fought, still too many, one-offs here and there. Like I always say, 9 or 10 guys doing the right thing, and we still got a one-off here and there. And, you can't give up a kickoff return. That was tough. We thought we played really good on special teams. Other than that, had some punts down inside, the 10-yard line. But just not quite good enough today to get over the hump. I hate it for our seniors. A lot of guys that have worn this uniform proud and fought, but we've got to keep improving. A lot of stuff to learn from this game. I do think we've improved, had good weeks of practice. It's nice to get Preston Jarvis, our starting center, back today. But once again, we were a little – we gave up too many yards and too many explosive plays. Played some good defense at times. I thought we fit the run better. We had a couple runs spit out on us, so we got to keep cleaning that stuff up. But love the fight from the guys, and like I said, we got to keep closing the gap.
Coach, what's the next step defensively for this team?
Yeah, we tried with the injuries. We got some DBs having to play some linebackers now, which is hurting us. We're on a lot of good recruits. I think we got a lot of good defensive players that will be returning next year. Grown. We got a lot of guys out there on defense that have played the last couple of weeks. Separated shoulders to sprains and strains, and so appreciate the fight of those guys. But we definitely got. We tried a lot of different scheme. We tried 4 down, 3 down, zone man. Today we even had people lining up, walking around, kind of a chaos type rush. So, trying a lot of different stuff, trying a lot of different players. We probably played 7 or 8 corners today. So, I think. We got to keep the main thing that keeps showing up on us is the lack of we're still missing too many tackles and some run fits, and we're going to continue to practice physical and try to find guys that can do that. And we definitely know we're on a lot of guys. We got to have instant impact guys to come in here and help us for next year. But we got to get the best we can out of these last 2 games of football. What we got on this roster currently.
Defensively, you guys took on a quarterback who was very hard to sack. You got to him a few times. You also picked him off. Y'all took some very positive things there.
Yeah,
This guy.
He, give Jacob Clark credit. He, we sacked him twice. He threw 4 touchdowns on us, and it's 25 or 32, I believe. Look at the stats, but he's a big guy. He stands in the pocket and he keeps his eyes down the field. Made a lot of throws with. I felt like we were collapsing the pocket in his face, and he kept his eyes down the field and stood tall in the pocket and made some really good throws. And so many times I felt like we were right there on him. Just didn't get him down, and we had so many balls today. I felt like were tips and overthrows a couple times I thought we were going to get, but he made some really good plays. He did a good job managing the game for him. I think with some of their checks and stuff, he did a good job. But we got to him a couple times with some pressures, but not enough today. But there is some positives to build off of that, no doubt.
You also been saying for one of your closing segments for the last several weeks. Brighter days are coming.
Yeah.
I think tonight we saw what happens when this team's feeling really good.
Yeah.
Tom O'Hara is going in for a
yeah.
And Juwan Northern is throwing a touchdown.
Yeah, and that was, we're trying to find sometimes when, you got to kind of find every little trick or whatever to execute and give the guys credit for executing those. But I do think I always like to say brighter days are ahead, and I believe that. It's like I told our team, I'm glad we could have easily folded up after the last 2 weeks against the 2 Dakota schools, because we were definitely probably mentally and physically beat down after those games a little bit. But I told them that's life, and we got to get back up, and you got to fight and find a way. And we were close today, but not good enough. But I think we do the fight and the constant improvement, I think, is what we're going to keep harping on. And I do think we're in the process of doing that, and no different in this whole football program. We're in the process of trying to improve in every area, and I think we're getting there. Not as fast as I would like, but I definitely think we're moving in the right direction.
Two very tough weeks with the big boys not being able to get in the end zone. How important was it to get that ball in the second quarter?
Yeah, against the North Dakota State and South Dakota State, we moved the ball. We just, they kind of got us with the bend to don't break. We bent them, but we didn't ever break them and get in the end zone. So that was a really positive night. We challenged our guys all week, and credit the offensive staff. Coach Ogle said, hey, no matter how many yards you gain, it's all about points scored, and you got to score points. And it was nice to have 401 yards today. We had 350, I think, against North Dakota State, but it was nice to score 31 points. So we've got to keep that up and improve on that. And like I said, I felt like the first two drives, we felt like we were kind of in scoring range and only got 3 points, which, I'd love to have those drives back. But, we challenged the guys and executed, and, had a couple more plays we thought were there, and we either had a protection issue, with a one-on-one battle of somebody getting beat, or, somebody, or give them credit a couple times with some good schemes. But, definitely a lot to build off of. Proud of our offense. I think we're improving. Still got a lot of guys beat up on offense. But, definitely getting some fight and production out of guys.
Like you said, the offense is improving a lot. Is it kind of a bittersweet feeling that you're hitting back?
Yeah, and like I said, going into the season, we had Ashton Flynn was the only guy that ever started a game or really on the offensive line here. A couple guys had played a little bit at the schools they'd coming from, but as a unit, there's really only one guy that had ever played in a Murray State uniform together. And, the offensive line usually takes a little bit to gel, and credit, Coach Ross and that group. They've gotten better, and not having our starting center the last 2 weeks is hurt, because guys Ashton Flynn had to go play center, and we've rotated the guys at tackles. Josh Robinson start tackle for us. He was out today. But, we always tell them next man up. Injury is going to happen in football. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. So as long as you got Levin in the uniform, they're going to try to take advantage of you every way you can. But credit those guys. I do think we're fighting. We're getting better, especially running the ball, getting better. And anytime you can run the ball and make guys play sound in their gaps and on defense and respect the run. And I always say it gives those pass rushers a little body blow. Your protection naturally gets better. So, we've been able to, I think, improve in that area.
Coach, you've been able to see the red zone, what it looks like at the NFL level,
Yeah.
SEC level, now the Missouri Valley Conference
Yeah.
level. What makes the red zone offensively and defensively so difficult
Yeah.
to manage just as a coaching
Oh, yeah.
What makes it so tough?
Great question. They, the red zone, I always say that, the field kind of shrinks, and, usually when you're really good in the red zone, you usually have the common factors. Usually you got a good running game. And because throwing the ball, it's tougher because it's more condensed. You don't have kind of the whole vertical passing game. And then usually if you have a big X receiver or something, because teams usually have to load the box, stop the run, and you got a big target over there. And then, having the ability to have a running quarterback where people have to account for a big quarterback or, tight ends. But it's definitely harder to defend a lot, on defense if you have a running quarterback, and people have to respect that, or a big time receiver. Because if you got to double a receiver or bracket him inside out, you're usually going to get one-on-one coverage with somebody else. It helps. And, and we've had, Jaden's done some good stuff running the ball down there this year. I think our backs have ran hard down in the red zone, and, credit, a lot of times I always say good running backs are kind of like guys that some backs just know how to score. You don't have to block anybody. They're going to find a way to break 3 or 4 tackles and get in the end zone. I think Derrick Henry, a guy always around at Alabama's special, but there's a reason he scores a touchdown every week in the NFL. He finds a way, and he's big, but he's got to break and drag people in the end zone, and we got to keep challenging our guys to do that. But they did a good job down in the red zone as well tonight. But anytime you got a good running quarterback, that helps, and a big mismatch target, because people like to play man coverage down there, and and when you have, when you can't cover them with one man, you're going to put 2 on them. So it kind of opens that up a little bit.
I know we've all talked about Northern with the pass. How about jumper?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Catch.
That was good. You know, we'd shown that formation and kind of ran it every time. So we were kind of waiting to feel like, hey, you know, they're going to suck up as soon as they see the ball snap to him. So, you know, good job, you know, executing that play, and a good call by Coach Ogle there and Coach Ross getting that call in. And, you know, it opened up great. Love to see it. And, you know, so Juwan, I think he had fun throwing that pass. So.
Coach, how big are games against Kentucky and SIU from a recruiting standpoint in the profile?
Yes, they are, you know, and we love to talk to recruits about, you know, I try to spin the there's a lot of positives in having a very difficult schedule. You know, it's, you got to throw a lot of guys in the deep end, I'd say, in the pool and see who needs swimmies and see who doesn't. And, you know, and we definitely got a lot of guys that are going to need some swimmies. I think that's still called swimmies, right? That's what my kids were. But, you know, it is nice, you know, to be on the SEC network and, you know, and get a little national exposure, especially in the state, and Southern Illinois kind of being our, you know, close recruiting footprint. And we had an amazing crowd talking about recruiting. I think we had 250 recruits here today. We had people, some that drove from Jacksonville, Florida, 12 hours. We had guys from Texas. We had, you know, from everywhere out there today. So credit Brandon Tidwell, works our recruiting staff, and all our coaches inviting guys. And you know, we've been heavily recruiting, and we know it come December we got to sign some difference makers. We got to get bigger, number one, and we got to get stronger, number two. And we'll always take speed, trying to get faster, but that's going to be a top priority. So, month of December, my wife's going to have to do all the Christmas shopping because I'm going to be busy recruiting. So,
You know, the last time y'all were on the SEC network, forgettable, honestly. What kind of chip on your shoulder have you got going up there?
yeah, you know.
Make a better showing on
Yes.
TV this
Yeah, I definitely do. You know, our opening game was not how we wanted it to go. Give Missouri credit, but we didn't play our best football. I think we're a better football team than game one, but, you know, we got to go out there and execute. And, you know, in Kentucky, you know, Coach Stoops and has done an amazing job, probably one of the most consistent programs winning in the Southeastern Conference over the years. You know, Coach Hood's on the staff there too. So he'll be familiar with a lot of our returning players and you know, credit to them. They probably had one of the biggest, you know, they beat Ole Miss earlier in the season. And they played Georgia really close. So, you know, and the SEC, the thing right now in the conference, you know, just about anybody can beat anybody every week. So, you know, it's going to be a challenge, but we love any opportunity we get to go out, especially on a national stage, and represent Murray State. And it's my job as a head football coach to go out there and put us in the best situation and try to get the best football out of them we can.